Before you visit the pineapple under the sea, you need to know the law. The police officer fish in Bikini Bottom are not your friends. They're waiting for you to slip up. They don't care about justice. They only care about order. This is the true story of a police force that punishes the innocent and protects the dirt. Case File 1, the Driven to Tears Incident. He has failed his boating exam 58 times. Then there is his best friend, Patrick Starr. Patrick is not smart. He does not know the rules of the road. He does not even know how to drive. But in the episode Driven to Tears, Patrick takes the test one time. By pure luck, he passes. He wins a prize for being the millionth person to pass the test. The prize is a brand new super fast boat called the Bass Blaster 3000. This is where the trouble begins. In a normal city, the police would stop him immediately. They would turn on their sirens, pull him over, and take away his license. But in Bikini Bottom, the police do nothing. There is a moment where a police officer actually sees Patrick. Patrick is parked, bragging about his boat. The officer uses a radar gun to check his speed. The gun says 0 miles per hour. The officer just smiles and leaves. He does not care that Patrick was driving like a maniac just seconds before. He does not check Patrick's record. He ignores the danger completely. This makes SpongeBob very angry. He is jealous, but he is also right. It is not fair. SpongeBob finally snaps. He grabs Patrick's license. They do not arrest Patrick for reckless driving. They don't arrest him for endangering lives. They arrest SpongeBob. The judge sentences SpongeBob to 90 days in prison. Think about that. 3 months in a jail cell. And what was his crime? Littering. He dropped some paper on the ground. This case proves that the police do not care about public safety. You could drive 100 miles per hour and kill people, and they will ignore you. But if you make the street dirty, they will lock you up. Case File 2, the Toxic Breath Disaster. If the first case showed the police overreacting, the second case shows them completely disappearing when people actually need them. This happened in the episode, Something Smells. It all started on a Sunday morning. SpongeBob decided to make a special ice cream sundae, but he ran out of normal food, so he used terrible ingredients. He used ketchup, he used onions, and most importantly, he used the dirt from a peanut plant that was half dead. He ate this mixture. The result was terrifying. His breath became a weapon. It smelled so bad that it was toxic. It could peel paint off of walls. It could make flowers wilt and die. It was a biological hazard. SpongeBob went into town. He did not know his breath was bad. He thought people were running away because he was ugly, but they were running for their lives. There is one specific scene that is very disturbing. A fish is driving his boat down the street. SpongeBob says hello to him. The breath hits the driver in the face. It blinds him. The driver starts choking. He loses control of his boat. He swerves off the road and crashes. The crash is huge. The boat is destroyed. It looks like a burnt piece of metal. In any other city, the police would rush to the scene. They would call an ambulance, they would block off the street, they would investigate why the driver crashed. But at Bikini Bottom, silence. The police never show up. The driver is left there in the wreckage. The video analysis suggests the police probably just wrote a ticket for the broken boat and walked away. They saw a destroyed vehicle and a hurt citizen, and they did nothing. Later in the episode, SpongeBob goes to a movie theater. He sits next to a guy and speaks. The smell is so bad that it causes a panic. The entire theater evacuates. People are screaming and trampling over each other to get out. It is a mass panic event. Where are the police? They're nowhere. A biological weapon is walking through the streets causing crashes and riots, and the police force is missing. This confirms a scary theory. The police in Bikini Bottom do not exist to protect people. They treat injuries and accidents as natural events. They only get involved if there is trash to clean up. If you are hurt, you are on your own. Case File 3, the Obsessed Officer. The third case file is about a police officer named Officer John. He appears in the episode Keep Bikini Bottom Beautiful. This episode is the strongest proof that the police are operating a strict, unfair system. Officer John is not a friendly neighborhood cop. He is a bully with a badge. He stalks the citizens, waiting for them to make a mistake. The episode begins with Squidward Tentacles walking down the street. He steps in a piece of sticky gum. It's gross. He shakes his foot to get the gum off. He flicks the gum onto the street. Instantly, sirens wail. Officer John jumps out from behind a building. He screams, "Littering!" He writes Squidward a ticket immediately. He does not give a warning, he forces Squidward to do community service. He makes Squidward clean up trash as a punishment. That seems strict, but maybe it is fair. No, it's not fair. Because a few minutes later, a rich character named Squilliam Fancyson shows up. Squilliam is bragging about a statue he made. He blows his nose into a tissue and drops it on the ground right in front of Officer John. Does Officer John arrest Squilliam? No. He looks at the tissue, and then he looks up at Squidward. He blames Squidward. He says, "You missed a spot." He forces Squidward to pick up Squilliam's trash. This shows the law is corrupt. The police bully the poor and let the rich do whatever they want. Things get worse. A garbage truck drives by and dumps a huge pile of trash on the street. It's a mountain of garbage. It smells terrible. Officer John sees this. Does he help clean it up? Does he call for help? No. He walks up to the pile of trash and puts a ticket on it. He treats the trash pile like a criminal. SpongeBob tries to help. He sucks up all the trash into his body. But it gets too full and the trash explodes all over Squidward's house. Now, Squidward's house looks like a pile of garbage. Officer John returns. He sees Squidward's house covered in trash. He does not ask if Squidward is okay. He writes another ticket. He finds Squidward for having a garbage house. By the end of the day, Squidward has 8 different tickets. Officer John follows him around, writing ticket after ticket. This behavior is obsessive. It is not about keeping the city safe, it is about control. Officer John acts like a soldier fighting a war against dirt. He has zero tolerance. He has no mercy. This confirms that the government of Bikini Bottom is terrified of pollution. They have given the police absolute power to punish anyone who makes a mess. Case File 4, The Scapegoat. The final case comes from the episode Doing Time. This episode shows that the police are not just mean, they're also lazy and incompetent. SpongeBob is taking his driving test again. As usual, it goes terribly wrong. SpongeBob loses control of the boat. He drives through the school, destroying the building. He drives through the city, smashing walls. Finally, he drives off an unfinished bridge. The boat falls down, down, down. It crashes onto a truck carrying fruit punch. It's a total disaster. Public property is destroyed. The road is broken. The police arrive at the scene. This is their chance to do real police work. What do? The police officers see a parking meter. The meter was bent during the crash. The officers get furious. They start beating the parking meter with their batons. They yell at the meter, "Take that, you deviant." This is a very strange moment. Why are they hitting a metal pole? It shows that they care more about the city's money, the parking meter, than the safety of the bridge or the people. Then they turn their attention to the boat. Inside the boat are SpongeBob and his teacher, Mrs. Puff. SpongeBob was the one driving. SpongeBob was the one who crashed. But the police do not arrest SpongeBob. They look at Mrs. Puff. They decide to blame her. They say she is responsible because she is the teacher. They arrest her for gross negligence. They put her in handcuffs and take her to jail. What happens to SpongeBob? The police officer looks at the front of the boat. He notices that the license plate is missing. He writes SpongeBob a small ticket for no front license plate, then he lets SpongeBob go free. Think about how crazy that is. SpongeBob destroyed a school and a bridge and he gets a ticket for a missing license plate. Mrs. Puff, who was just sitting there screaming, goes to prison for years. Mrs. Puff eventually goes crazy in prison. She starts to like it there. She realizes that in prison she doesn't have to deal with SpongeBob. But the tragedy is that the legal system failed her. The police chose the easiest person to blame. They wanted to close the case quickly so they could go back to protecting parking meters. So the next time you watch SpongeBob SquarePants and you see a police fish, don't laugh. Look at his eyes. Look at his ticket book. He is the scariest monster in the deep blue sea. He represents a government that has lost its mind with fear, enforcing laws that punish the innocent and ignore the dying. It is a dark, dark reality hidden under a bright yellow sponge.